Hello everyone. So today in this video we will start the chapter life process and we will learn the nutrition. So this chapter is about life process. So first we will see like what exactly life process is there. What is the meaning of a life process? So life process means whatever the process that it is going on inside the living organism. For example, as you can see on the screen, reproduction is there, nutrition is there, respiration is there, transportation is there, excretion is there, growth is there, sensitivity is there. So these are the basic life process that will go inside a human being, okay, or any animal also you can take this as an example. So in this chapter we will see all this topic and we will cover this and we will try to understand this actually. So first we will see the definition of life process. Life processes are processes undergoing in living organisms to sustain life. Maintenance of living organism is essential even if they are moving, resting or even sleeping. Like whatever the state we are in, उसमें से कुछ भी मतलब कोई भी ऐसा स्टेट हो जिसमें हम हैं, ये सारे लाइफ प्रोसेसेस हमारे लाइफ को वो मेंटेन करते हैं. इवन दो इफ वी आर स्लीपिंग, इवन दो इफ वी आर वॉकिंग, इवन दो वी आर रेस्टिंग, सारे प्रोसेसेस में ये सारे चीज इंक्लूडेड है. सो हियर the organism we will classify into two. First is your unicellular organism and second is your multicellular organism. Like in this nature, basically these two types of organisms will be there, unicellular and multicellular. So in unicellular, we can say that the types of organism which is made up of a single cell, that unicellular you can see. For example, amoeba is there. Then next is multicellular organisms. They have well developed system and they are made up of more than one cell or multiple cell you can say. So, for example, human being is there, animals are there. So, this is about the basic brief introduction about the life process. Now, next is what do you mean by nutrition? So, whatever the food that we are taking in, that we are taking in for our development, for our growth. So, that is the basic meaning of a nutrition. The process of taking food inside the body and converting it into smaller molecule which can be absorbed by the body. So, this is the definition of nutrition. Why we need the nutrition? Suppose if we are eating, so with that food only the nutrition we are getting. After eating the food, we are getting the energy, our body will grow, and whatever the things are there, processes are going on, that will be done by the help of this nutrition. Now, in this chapter, one of the most important topic, that is the mode of nutrition. You can see here this topic, mode of nutrition. It is very important. So, mode of nutrition means what are the ways that all the living creatures on this planet they will take the food. So, there are different processes that we have to see. So, nutrition definition we have seen. This nutrition is being classified into autotrophic and the heterotrophic nutrition. So, what is autotrophic and what is heterotrophic? We will see. So, autotrophic nutrition. So, in this nature, for example, you can take the green plants as an example. They prepare their own food inside their body. So, those type of nutritions will be considered as the autotrophic nutrition. And the one who is doing this, they are said as autotrophs. So, this was about your autotrophic nutrition. Next, second is your heterotrophic nutrition. So, what do you mean by heterotrophic nutrition? All the like not all but yeah, many of the organisms, for example, best example you can take a human being, they are not able to synthesize their own food, they are dependent on someone else, that is plants you can take. So these type of heterotrophic nutrition, obtaining nutrition from complex food molecules by the process of digestion. Okay, so this is the definition of heterotrophic and autotrophic nutrition. Now, in this autotrophic nutrition, we will see some parts, like types we will see. So, in autotrophic, one is photosynthetic microorganism and chemosynthetic microorganism. So, photosynthetic microorganism and chemosynthetic microorganism means there are some microorganism on this planet that do the process of photosynthesis. So before this, just I will explain you what do you mean by photosynthesis. So photosynthesis is a process in which the green plants prepare their own food by the help of carbon dioxide, then sunlight is there, chlorophyll is there, and water is there. These are the four raw materials that the green plants will take, and then they will do the process of photosynthesis and they will prepare their food in the form of glucose. Okay, so that was about the photosynthesis done by the green plant. Here, photosynthesis for the microorganism, you can say. So they will use of the energy from sunlight to synthesize food substance. So here also the microorganism will utilize the sunlight and they will prepare their own food. Chemosynthetic microorganisms means here the energy. Here I said before photosynthesis, they will use the sunlight as an energy source. But here in this chemosynthetic microorganism, they will use the chemical, inorganic material, you can take it as an example. And by using that, they will do the process of this chemosynthetic, you can say. And after that, they will synthesize their own food. In heterotrophic nutrition, here basically two different types are there. You can see here saprotrophic and parasitic or pathogenic microorganism. So what do you mean by saprotrophic microorganism? These type of microorganism will secrete the enzyme. Here you can see they will secrete the enzymes onto the external organic matter and absorb soluble products. So whatever the organic matter is there, on that they will grow and they will secrete the enzyme and they will take the nutrition by that. Second is your parasitic. They live in or inside the host and feed on it is organic matter. For example, mosquito you can take. Mosquito is a parasites that will take the blood from outside of our body and they will be under the parasitic nutrition, you can say. These are the examples. You can see for photosynthetic microorganisms, plants like blue-green algae and bacteria like cyanobacteria. This chemosynthetic bacteria and methanogenic archaea living in the deep sea vents. So these are the basic examples of these complete types of nutrition. Now, this I have explained you already the types of nutrition, saprotrophic nutrition, parasitic nutrition. One extra that is here. This you have to understand once. This is your holozoic nutrition. These are the examples that you have seen. This holozoic nutrition will be seen in two types of organism, like basically two types of organism. First is the amoeba, it's a unicellular organism, and second is the human being, that is the multicellular organism. So this is one of the major topic in this heterotrophic nutrition. We will see in detail. So the holozoic nutrition, food by the process of ingestion, that is holozoic nutrition. Ingestion means the food that we take in. That is the process of ingestion. We will see this in detail now. So before that, one major topic is here, that is the plant nutrition. Little bit briefly I have explained you about the photosynthesis. That is here only complete detail how the plant will take their nutrition, how they are making their own food. So you can see that plant nutrition. Plants prepare their own food. They make food in the presence of sunlight. Sunlight provides energy, carbon dioxide and water are the raw materials. Chloroplast is the site where food is made. So, this plant nutrition, first they will prepare their own food. How they will prepare their own food? They will prepare their own food in the presence of sunlight. Then, this sunlight is providing the energy to the green plants. Then, this carbon dioxide and water. These are the raw material, basic raw material for the process of photosynthesis, how the green plants are doing. And now where exactly these things are happening? This is your chloroplast. This is the site where the photosynthesis is happening. Now, What is this photosynthesis? The process by which green plants prepare their food is called photosynthesis. During this process, solar energy is converted into the chemical energy. So this is the basic definition of photosynthesis, how you can define the photosynthesis. This solar energy means the light energy that the green plant it's absorbing. So here, this solar energy, that means the light energy, here it will be converted into the chemical energy. So green plant will take the light energy, and that light energy will be converted into the chemical energy. Okay, that we say glucose. So this is the photosynthesis, and this is the basic equation you can see. This is the basic equation of your photosynthesis. Carbon dioxide is the raw material, water is the raw material, light is there, and chlorophyll is there. All these are raw material and it will be converted into glucose and oxygen. This is the product of the photosynthesis, you can say. So this was all about your photosynthesis process, how it was being done in the green plants. So here are the basic steps. You can see here basic steps, what exactly one by one it is there in the photosynthesis. First is your absorption of light by chlorophyll. So in examination this is important. They can ask you write the steps of the photosynthesis. So first is the absorption of light by chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is the one who will trap the sunlight energy, because this chlorophyll is there present in the chloroplast, and this chlorophyll is the green color pigment that you have to remember. This green color pigment is called chlorophyll in the green plants, which will be absorbed by which will absorb the sunlight. Second is the splitting of water into the hydrogen and oxygen. So that equation before this slide, one equation I showed you there, the water was there as a raw material. So what is the purpose of using the water by the green plant? That water will be split into hydrogen and oxygen. That is the main purpose of using the water. Third is the reduction of carbon dioxide into carbohydrate. So this carbohydrate was there as a byproduct. So this carbon dioxide was there in the raw material. So this carbon dioxide will be converted into carbohydrate. So these are the basic steps that will happen, that will occur in the photosynthesis. Now we will see the significance of the photosynthesis. What are the significance? So photosynthesis serves a crucial role in the food chain. The plant create their food using the process, thereby forming the primary producers. Photosynthesis is also responsible for production of oxygen, which is needed by most organisms for the survival. So in food chain, if you have any idea about, so you will you know that the food chain will be started by the producers only, means the green plant. So if green plants is only not there, then the food chain cannot be started. So that is the first significance. And the second is it will produce the oxygen, that you have to remember. This algal photosynthesis, it is there. I will just explain you briefly how the photosynthesis will happen in the algae. Some bacteria are there, that is cyanobacteria. You can see here this cyanobacteria or the blue-green algae. They are the photoautotrophs, means the one who will use the light and they will make their own food, and that is there in the algal photosynthesis. And here you just remember that they do have chlorophyll A. It's a type of a chlorophyll pigment that is present in the alga, cyanobacteria and the blue-green algae, and from there only they will do the process of photosynthesis. And one more thing, in the bacterial system, some of the bacteria they will do the process of photosynthesis. In green plants, you remember the water will be there, H2O, that will give oxygen. In green plant, the process of photosynthesis I am saying. But in some bacterial system, the H2O they will not use. Instead of H2O, they will use any other organic form or inorganic form. That one of the example I have given you, that is H2S. But this will not give you the oxygen. So that is the one basic difference and one of the major difference you can say. The green plant liberates the oxygen, but in bacterial system they won't liberate the oxygen. This thing you have to keep in your mind. So you can pause this video and you can see this complete chart of the nutrition. Whatever I have taught, it is briefly explained. You can see this. Now we will move to our next topic. So our next topic is stomata. So what do you mean by stomata? So stomata, leaves contain small openings known as the stomata, which helps in the exchange of gases. So whatever the gaseous exchange is happening, like exchange of carbon dioxide, exchange of oxygen and exchange of other gases, that will be done by the stomata that is present in the leaves. Stomata oblique stoma is surrounded by guard cell, which guards the opening and closing of the stomata. This thing you have to remember, this guard cell is responsible for opening and closing of the stomata. Guard cell also contain the chloroplast. Now the mechanism of stomatal opening and closure. The opening and closing of stomata depend on the turgor pressure caused by the osmotic flow of water in the guard cell. So what do you mean by this turgor pressure? Like suppose any cell is there that will have a cell wall, and this is your cell membrane. This is your plant cell, I am saying. Now this, when the water will enter inside, then it will have a pressure all over the direction. That is the turgor pressure, you can say. Now what will happen in the stomata? When the water will flow inside, this water will flow inside in the guard cell, then the turgidity means this pressure will increase, and because of that the opening and closing of stomata means when it will come inside. Here you can see when the guard cell are turgid, they expands, resulting in the opening of stomata, and when the guard cell loses water, they become flaccid, leading to the stomatal closing. So, yeah, this thing you have to remember. Guard cell are turgid, it is opening of stomata. Guard cells loses the water, they become flaccid and the stomata will close. This is your diagram when the stomata is closed and when the stomata is open. So this was all about your plant nutrition. Now we will see the nutrition in animal. How in animal the nutrition will takes place. So here is your topic, animal nutrition. So we have already discussed that in animals the heterotrophic nutrition this will occur. Okay. The heterotrophic mode of nutrition will be there. So organism takes food from the another organisms, means those type of organisms which are completely dependent on the other organism. They are known as heterotrophs and their mode of nutrition is considered as heterotrophic nutrition. So in heterotrophic, we have already discussed the holozoic nutrition, saprophytism and parasitism. So before this slides, I was saying that this holozoic nutrition we will see especially in the animal. Okay. The organism feed by ingesting solid organic matter which is then digested and absorbed into their bodies. Examples you can see, human is there, animals are there, insectivorous plants are there. So this is only that we will see holozoic nutrition. This is the complete steps of the holozoic nutrition, how exactly it is happening. First is the ingestion process. Here you can see First is the ingestion process. Now, what do you mean by ingestion? It is a process of intake of food material. In case of holozoic nutrition, food is ingested through the mouth. So, we will take the example of human being only, like how we ingest the food. So, whenever we are taking, just it is a process like we are taking inside our mouth. That process is considered as the ingestion of food. Now, next is the digestion process. Now, whatever we are taking food, that whatever we are ingesting the food. After that, the digestion process will happen inside our alimentary canal. So that is the second step. It is a process of conversion of large organic molecules obtained from the diet into simpler absorbable form. This is your second step in the holozoic mode of nutrition. Now, third is the absorption. Now, whatever the food is being digested, it will be absorbed also. वो absorb भी होता है क्योंकि हमें वो nutrition चाहिए हमारे body को. So, it is a process of absorption of digested absorbable form of food through various methods for further use. Fourth is your assimilation. Now, whatever the nutrients, vitamins, it has been absorbed inside our body, inside our blood basically. Now that we will use it to derive the energy, so that हम अपना काम कर सकते हैं. That is your fourth step. And lastly, digestion. Now, whatever we are eating, after providing us the energy, after absorbing, it will be converted into a waste. Okay, and that is the digestion process. So, it is the removal of excretory waste material in the form of feces and the urine outside of the body. Okay, so this was about your holozoic mode of nutrition. And the same process, that holozoic nutrition that we have seen, that will be there in the amoeba. Amoeba will do the same exact process. You can see here in this diagram, in this figure, you can see that this is your amoeba. Food will come here near to the amoeba. They will form the pseudopodia. Then the first process, ingestion, is there. Then the food will be inside the body of amoeba. Then digestion process will occur, absorption will occur, assimilation will occur, and finally the digestion means the waste material will be excreted out. This is the process of like food intake by the amoeba. And how they are taking the food inside their body? By the process of phagocytosis. This thing you have to remember, this is important. I mean, in your examination also, they will ask you this, nutrition in amoeba. What type of nutrition will be there in the amoeba? So you have to remember this complete. Now we will see how the food that we are taking, human being are taking, it will be absorbed, it will be digested, and it will be excreted out. We will see each and every step. So, one question for you. Here we are discussing about the nutrition in animal now. It is one of the major topics from this chapter. Now, one question I am asking: digestion in human being, where it will start? The first digestion process, where it will occur? If you know the answer, you can comment in the comment section. So, we will start this. The nutrition in human being. Human beings are complex animals which have a complex digestive system. Now, these are the parts of alimentary canal that you are seeing on the screen. This is the complete process, you can say, how the food will travel. First is your mouth, then is your pharynx, then esophagus, then stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum, and finally from the anus, it will come out from the body. Okay, so we will see. And some associated glands are also there. You can see here, salivary glands are there, gastric gland is there, liver is there, pancreas is there, intestinal gland is there. Okay, so these are the glands and the parts of the alimentary canal we will see. Now first is your mouth oblique buccal cavity. In mouth, you can see mouth is the first portion of the alimentary canal. Mouth consists of muscular tongue and teeth. Cavity inside the mouth is called oral cavity. The buccal cavity which is present behind the mouth is commonly referred to as mouth. The buccal cavity has teeth and tongue. The set of teeth helps in the mastication of food. Mastication of food means the food will be chewed and it will be broken down, you can say. The tongue has taste bud on it and thus helps in the tasting of food. The salivary glands open also in the buccal cavity and pour saliva which initiate the process of digestion. So here the question that I asked, that where is the first digestion it will occur inside our human body, that is your mouth. Suppose we are eating food, we are eating chapati, roti, rice, anything that will consist of like starch it will have. Now that starch will be converted to maltose by the help of a by help of the enzyme that is amylase. The starch is converted to maltose with the help of enzyme amylase. So this amylase enzyme only it will be present in the saliva. Okay, and here the partial digestion of this starch will takes place inside the mouth. So this was the digestion in mouth, how it will occur. Somewhere this amylase will be written as ptyalin. Okay, so somewhere it will be written like this. Other name you can see. Now from the mouth, the food has to reach here in the stomach. Okay, the food has to reach here in this stomach through the esophagus. Okay, so what is esophagus? So esophagus is a muscular tube about 25 centimeter long with a sphincter oblique valve at the each end. It is its function is to transport the food and fluid after being swallowed from the mouth to the stomach. Now the major function of esophagus I will tell you. Now we suppose we are eating the food. Now we are chewing the food. After that chewing, after the partial digestion of starch, the food has to be transferred into the stomach. Now that will be done by the help of this esophagus. Okay. Now finally it will reach to the stomach. Now in stomach what will happen? So stomach, first I will explain you the stomach. The stomach is thick-walled, bag-like structure. It receives food from the esophagus. The inner lining of the stomach serves. Stomach secretes mucus, hydrochloric acid, and digestive juices. So what exactly it will happen when the food will reach inside the stomach? Okay, when the food will reach inside the stomach, now the gastric gland that is present in the walls of the stomach, they will secrete three things that you have to remember: mucus, HCl, pepsin. These are the three secretions that you have to remember. Direct question they can ask you from this part. So mucus, HCl and pepsin. Now what are the functions of these three? Mucus, it will be secreted by the gastric gland that will cover the wall of the stomach. Reason this HCl secretion, this HCl is very it is very acidic in nature. So if you will take a single drop of HCl also and if you will keep on the skin, it will completely burn your skin. So for that only the mucus will be secreted first and it will cover the wall of the stomach. HCl, what is the function of HCl? First, it will kill the bacteria. Whatever the bacteria it is there, it will kill the bacteria. And second, it will make the environment acidic so that the enzymes can work properly and they can digest the food. And the third is pepsin. This is an enzyme that will digest your food. So direct question they can ask you from these three topics, that is mucus, HCl and pepsin functions. So just keep this in your mind. Now the food is digested here in the stomach also. So as I said, the three secretions will be there done by the gastric gland. So the inner lining of the stomach secrete mucus, HCl, that is hydrochloric acid, and the digestive juices. Food is churned into the semi-solid mass in the stomach that is called chyme. This also you have to remember the word, that is chyme. The food will be converted into the chyme. enzymes present in the gastric juices breaks down the food. Then the hydrochloric acid help in the partial digestion of protein and also kill the harmful bacteria. So these are the basic functions of all these three secretions that you have to remember. So these topics, these points already I have covered in before this slide. Here, this part I will highlight you. The starch, by the help of amylase enzyme, will be converted into the simple sugar. For example, you can take maltose or glucose. Second, that is the protein. With the help of enzyme protease, the protein will be converted into amino acids. And the third is lipid. With the help of lipase enzyme, it will be converted into glycerol and fatty acids. So why only these three? Because our food consists of these three basic biomolecules, you can say. That's why here starch, protein and lipid digestion they have shown. So this is the complete digestion till now. Whatever we have discussed, it is your flow chart. You can see this and you can understand. And if you have any doubt, you can ask me in the comment section. So till now we have seen the food reach the stomach. Now the food has to go inside the small intestine. So when the food will enter inside the small intestine, secretion from the liver will come. Here you can see secretion from the liver will be there, that is the bile juice and bile salt, and from the pancreas also it will be secreted the pancreatic juices. Okay, now what is the function of these two? This is one of the important point from this small intestine, you can say. The liver will secrete the bile juice and bile salt that will help in emulsification of fat. Emulsification of fat means the larger globule molecules of fats will be converted into smaller part. Okay, and this pancreatic juice that will contain the amylase, trypsin and the like protein digesting enzyme, you can say trypsin, and amylase will digest the carbohydrate and lipase will digest the lipids. So here in small intestine, the complete digestion and complete absorption, this thing you have to remember in small intestine, that small intestine is the place where the complete digestion and the complete absorption of the food will be done. After this thing, one more secretion will be there, that is the intestinal juice. The juices from the intestine also it will be secreted, and that will help in the digestion of food, the complete digestion, you can say. Now this digested food will be transferred to this large intestine, where the only one process will occur, that is the absorption of this excess of water. That will help in the osmoregulation. Osmoregulation means that will maintain the water and salt level inside your body. That is your process that will happen in this large intestine. Now that will be considered as a waste product. Now that will be excreted out. So that will be excreted out from your rectum and finally from the anus. So this was your complete nutrition in the animal. This was your complete way from here to here. This is the process. So if you have any doubt in this topic, you can ask me in the comment section. Thank you.